Hi, I'm Audrey, the host of My Tar Heel Adventures. Every episode, we visit a new town in North Carolina to give you an inside peek at our beautiful state. Today, we're in Jacksonville, North Carolina. We'll be exploring the city, learning about its incredible history, and dining along the International Food Trail. So stay tuned for an all-new My Tar Heel Adventures. Hi guys, we are here on the banks of the New River, and we're speaking with Miss Susan Dosier with Visit Jacksonville NC. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here, Audrey. We're excited about that. We are actually at Sturgeon City Environmental Education Center.
Okay.
It's the site of an old water treatment facility. It was turned into an environmental education center for our youngest citizens in school and learning about the environment, to our older citizens to create an understanding of what it takes to be good stewards of that amazing river out here. And one of the things that's so interesting about Jacksonville is we are a city on a river, but we are also a city on a military base, by a military base.
Yes.
And those two things are not exclusive at all. And so that's why it's great to have you here to tell the story of our area.
I'm super excited to learn about Jacksonville. This is going to be so fun.
Good.
Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about this area.
Well, Jacksonville is a city, I say every time I visit here, every time I explore here, I'm peeling the onion. I'm learning new things, new stories. There are so many stories of patriotism and American valor because of our Marines who live and train here and serve here and abroad. And so there are those stories, like the first Black Marines served here, actually separate from their white counterparts. There are stories about the first military dogs trained here.
Wow.
There are even some ties to some of the first women to serve in the Marines.
A lot of firsts.
Right here. So lots of firsts. And those are exciting, fun stories. And there are people here who live and breathe those things. We also have, Lejeune Memorial Gardens, the home of the second largest Vietnam Veterans Memorial in the country. It is the national Montford Point Marine Memorial.
Wow.
We have those things. And then we have amazing fishing guides. We have great trails. We have fun places to go, and our hotels are so affordable because there's so many people streaming into this city because of the base. There's a lot of great competition in our hotels, and so the beach is 20 minutes away.
Wow.
You can stay for less than $120 a night in Jacksonville at a very, very nice name brand hotel. So it's affordable, it's very family friendly, and it's fun.
Sounds like it. Sounds like we have so much to dive into. All right, so can you tell us a little bit about the significance here?
Right. The New River at one point was not clean, was not alive. At one point back in the 70s, the river was proclaimed dead. There were no live fishing, that kind of thing. And so it has come back through the efforts of a lot of people here. The city said, we will never let this happen again. It slipped up on us. We take full responsibility. And that's why Sturgeon City, the environmental education city, was built here. And they run institutes for children of all different backgrounds, all ages, all economic levels, to train them about the environment here. And they have these incredible walking paths. You can Google the Sturgeon City Trail, Sturgeon City Walking Path. Go out here on our beautiful boardwalk, get your incredible sunrise views of the New River or sunset. And then there are paths and parks and things all around here. And you can learn, you can walk the history of this area. The water is clean now. We're actually still in the process of building oyster highways to filter and clean the water. We just had, I think, our third or fourth triathlon where people swam in the New River, all totally safe. So we celebrate our river. We are truly a city on the river.
Wow, what a turnaround. What an amazing, inspiring city.
Well, it was. And we're really proud of that and trying to do right about what happened in the past and to move forward and educate people about how clean and lovely our future is.
Yes. So, Miss Susan, why should people visit Jacksonville, North Carolina?
I'm so glad you asked. A lot of people, Audrey, think, oh, it's a military base. I don't know, why would I want to go to a town with a military base?
Right.
I'm like, Oh, but what you don't know. So many of our military service people are married, they do have children, they're looking for an amazing place to raise their families and serve. And so it's that kind of value system. So we have an incredible children's museum, Zing Zam, for our tiny ones. We have our International Food Trail, which is more than 20 amazing international restaurants.
Wow.
Not expensive, not spendy, very authentic, which is just so fun. I've eaten pig's feet. I didn't think I would do that. I've taken some very adventurous things, and then like El Cerro Tacos has margarita flights, which I'm more familiar with. And so, so all kinds of fun things there. And then it's also a place where our community loves to gather, and they love to eat, and they love to be outdoors. So we have fabulous fishing guides.
Oh, yeah.
It'll take you out on the river. So great outdoor opportunities. We host a lot of sporting events here. We have very cool festivals like the Pacific Arts Festival. We have the only powwow, Native American powwow in North Carolina. I didn't know anything about powwows until I started exploring here. And it is the only one that honors veterans. It allows people from the outside, from the public, to join us, and it allows multiple tribes. It's during our Veterans Tribute event in early November, and people from all over the country come for that powwow. And so we have these incredible festivals and events. And then we also have places like Mike's Farm, which has one of the largest assortment of North Carolina products in the state. We have Walton's Distillery. So, and then we're just 20 minutes away from Swansboro and North Topsail Beach. So you get a little taste of the coast and the water. So that's why you can come. Lots of great reasons.
Awesome. It sounds like Jacksonville, North Carolina is a very family-friendly, fun place to be.
It is. And it's kind of one of those places, if you are into hidden gems, it's a small town, but yet a global mindset.
Yeah. So Susan, where can we learn more about Visit Jacksonville online?
Well, at visitjacksonvillenc.com. That is our website, visitjacksonvillenc.com. Don't forget the NC. We don't want you going to Florida. We want you to stay right here in North Carolina.
Right.
And then our social handles, we're on Facebook and Instagram, the very same language, Visit Jacksonville NC.
Gotcha.
And those are our handles. We would love to have you. If you want to reach out on social media, we can help you plan. There are guides about things to do, our amazing trail system, all the places. We've got a new Blue Ways. This is me paddling in my kayak, an amazing Blue Ways system that's launching this spring.
Okay.
So lots of fun things. If you like being outdoors and feeling that breeze in your face, just you and nature, this is a good place to do that.
Oh, sounds awesome. Speaking of, one last question. What are some upcoming events that you guys have planned?
We have some fabulous events here. This spring, we'll have our New River Triathlon, and it's just gotten a big national recognition as a part of a national triathlon network. Again, we have people coming from all over. In September, we have the Marine Corps Half Marathon, and then we have the Pacific Arts Festival in summer. We have the Onslow Veterans Powwow in early November. We have a fun weekend, Veterans Tribute NC. A fun weekend. It's that weekend right before Veterans Day. And there's all kinds of things. Powwow is that weekend. Concerts, family-friendly activities. If you go to our website at visitjacksonvillenc.com, click on events, click on our calendar. It's all right there. We also have gorgeous Christmas lights here too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Hi guys, we're here with Mr. Glenn Hargett, who is a resident of Jacksonville, North Carolina. He's going to give us a tour today of the Memorial Gardens. Right now we're standing in front of the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor Memorial. How are you doing today?
Doing fine.
Awesome.
It's a great day. This Eagle, Globe, and Anchor just also happens to be the largest dimensional version of that. It's the symbol of the Marine Corps. They hold it very sacred to their hearts. In fact, when you graduate from Paris Island or one of those schools, you actually get one pressed into your palm.
Oh, wow. Can you talk to us a little bit about Lejeune Memorial Gardens?
Yes, this plot of land is part of the entire 900 some square miles that is the Camp Lejeune area.
Okay.
And Camp Lejeune came to be here at this particular spot because right before World War II, when our country was about to enter into war, and they knew that the last parts of this war were going to have to be fought with an amphibious assault. So they put some guys on a plane and they flew them from Washington, D.C. to Florida and back. They were looking for dark spots, places where there wasn't a lot of development, places where there was a beach, places where there was a river that intersected, and places where they could practice littoral warfare.
Wow.
And Camp Lejeune came to be this spot. And that's what has become the legacy of what a small, sleepy town of Jacksonville got to be what it is now today.
That is incredible. And so how long has the Memorial Gardens been here in Jacksonville?
The Memorial Gardens came to be the thought after the devastating loss of Marines in 1983. That was the date of the Beirut bomb blast.
That can express our sorrow and grief over the loss of those splendid young men.
And 241 Marines were initially killed, and then there were others that died from their wounds as it was. It was the largest loss of life since World War II for the Marine Corps, and it was devastating.
Yeah.
This community woke up knowing that the fabric of the community had been torn because so many of these people were our neighbors, the next door people, the people that your kids played, soccer with their fathers and such there. So it did that. The base agreed when the community said, we want to erect some sort of memorial to this because it was so devastating. And so this 27 acres was carved out of the base, and it was basically put into the public domain so that they could do this as it was. You are standing on a federal reservation at this time. It's still part of the federal property, but it's dedicated to this purpose.
Such inspiring history.
Absolutely. Camp Lejeune and Jacksonville are so tied at the hip as to what has happened here. The largest influence on local government and politicians has come from the Vietnam veterans who returned to this country, many of them not feeling welcome when they did, but many of them deciding to stay here because they were among their brethren.
Yeah.
They were a fellow there. And so the fraternal organizations that basically house and welcome Vietnam veterans became strong political programs here and strong influences over local government, over everything in our community.
How many different memorials are within this memorial garden?
Well, there are some memorials and then there's some honors that are going on here. But there are 7 major sites as it was. And one of the wonderful things, if people come here, they can actually tour this on their own. And we have QR codes on signs where they can actually hear a narration of what it is that memorial or that site memorializes and or remembers.
How cool. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Glenn. What makes Lejeune Memorial Gardens different?
I think what makes this Memorial Gardens different is that it's so much a part of what this community is. This is where people come back to when they've been away. This is where they meet family members. This is the return on every October 23rd for a Beirut observance. This is the Vietnam observance that takes place here. There are promotions and there are retirements that are held here at this site because this is the personification of the impact of the military on our community, and it's a place of pride that we have this. For some people, this is their only place they can go to remember their loved one. It's not like a grave where it has some sort of tie to the body or to the spirit of that. But this comes back to show what they were made of, what was driving them, what kind of life they led. They were a Marine.
That's so powerful. Can you talk to us about some of the very incredible memorials in here?
Well, the Beirut Memorial obviously was the first, and it's somewhat modest in comparison to some of the rest of them. But at the same time, the Vietnam Memorial, that was the next major memorial that was built here, represents a thought that this community had. They wanted to make sure the 58,000 names of those who perished in the Vietnam War were easy to find. So they put them in alphabetical order. And unlike the memorial that's in Washington, D.C., where they're by date of death. And so consequently, that becomes a great gathering place for people, and the influence of that generation onto this community is really personified there. Another one obviously has to do with the plight of those who served as Montford Point Marines. The Marine Corps reluctantly desegregated, they reluctantly brought in black Marines. They put them into a base that wasn't yet developed, wasn't yet totally built, and they had to build it themselves. They had to live there, take care of their own. They had to lead, and they decided they were going to be the best Marines that could be possible, and they demonstrated that. And it was only until 1949, when it was totally desegregated and it was all integrated at one time, that the impact of those Marines who had trained at Montford Point were recognized. And you know, they really don't know how many Montford Point Marines there ever was.
Wow.
So you'll see a memorial over there with some 20,000 stars on the wall, because it just recognizes how they were viewed and how they're served. But they were also, many of them, real heroes.
So, Mr. Glenn, why would someone want to travel here to Jacksonville to see something like this?
Well, this is where the price of freedom comes to be, in concrete and stone and brick and in the will of a community to never forget.
Yes.
This is the place where the wars and things that are being remembered here have a personal connection to what has happened here. This is where Marines and sailors really can come and feel welcome here and remember what has happened.
Yeah.
But for anyone else who's traveling to our area, you can see how a community treats its own people.
Yeah.
It's how this would not have been possible without small donations made by many people in this community. This wouldn't have happened without an incredible support of what this community is all about.
Yeah.
And as a bitch, you know, we live among these people who defend our freedom. And consequently, the Marines feel like they're blessed because they get to enjoy that freedom too, because they truly know what the price was that came to be to have this freedom.
Wow, that's so incredible.
Well, I hope you have a good visit here in Jacksonville.
Thank you. So far, it's been amazing. So where can we find more information online?
You can easily go to visit Jacksonville NC and the website, and you'll see all those different items. You'll see the tour, you'll see some of these historic places, you'll find great places to stay, great places to eat, which is, our culture has been changed by the Marine Corps, and we have all these different cultures from all over the world that have been aggregated here. So that's a wide range of food that you can eat here in Jacksonville. And you can find some great things to do while you're here.
Awesome. And Jacksonville has a very unique location.
When they were looking for that dark spot, they were between the bright spots of New Bern that had been there since colonial times, and they were in the bright spots of Wilmington that had been there since colonial times. So consequently, you could just travel an hour in either direction, and you have even bigger cities as it is.
Nice.
And you could also see how here you can also just have go to 20 minutes, you're at the beach, you know, and drive back and forth from there. It's all wonderful from that perspective.
That makes Jacksonville an incredible vacation spot to come and learn about the history of the community and our country and enjoy the beach.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi guys, we're here at Mike's Farm right outside of Jacksonville, and we're speaking with Miss Theresa Lowe, who is the co-owner of Mike's Farm with her husband Mike. Tell us a little bit about Mike's Farm.
Well, Mike's Farm is basically considered an agritourism business. We started out many years ago. This used to be a tobacco farm, as a matter of fact, when his dad had the land. Over the years, as we grew, we decided to go into Christmas tree farming. We did that for a while, and eventually we just diversified into other things. Eventually we added a bakery. Then years later, early like 2001, we added a family-style dining restaurant. We have a wedding venue here. We have other crops that we grow here. We raise strawberries and we do pumpkins also.
Wow, so it sounds like Mike's Farm is the perfect getaway for the entire family.
We do have a lot of children come because we have an animal petting area for the kids. We do have an Easter event as well, Easter egg hunt, and a lot of kids come out for that as well.
Wow. So, Miss Theresa, when did Mike's Farm open?
When it originally started was the first year we sold Christmas trees. That was in 1986.
Wow.
The farm itself used to be 100 also makes desserts for the restaurant. And so it's a multifold thing that we do from the bakery.
Wow, incredible. You host weddings here throughout the entire year?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Who comes here to have their weddings?
Many brides from really around, I'd say within a 3-hour travel distance will come to have their wedding here at the farm.
Wow.
We have a banquet room facility that we have smaller weddings in, and we also have a barn that we call the wedding barn with a deck that people can have a wedding at.
So I noticed you have a lot of tractors here on Mike's farm.
Yes, Mike is into tractors. One of the tractors over in the products barn, they wanted to put up, and this was a man thing, wanted to put the tractor up. They put that up prior to the actual walls going up in the products barn. They had to, do extra support and everything. And so it is one of the attractions when people come in.
You can't really miss it.
No, you can't. It's up in the air. You cannot.
So, Miss Theresa.
Yes, ma'am.
Why should people visit Mike's farm?
I personally think that it is unique, and we do our best here to satisfy our customers. Over the years, if it's something that we don't see that we would be satisfied with, then we correct it.
Right.
And so we want our customers to be happy and have a good time when they come. And the restaurant, we do family style dining where we take all the food and bowls to your table just like you eat at home. It is an all you can eat, and so many people reorder on the mac and cheese especially. But we do our best. We do home cooking, down home country cooking, and we'd love for folks to come see us.
Oh, sounds amazing. We've heard so many great things about your mac and cheese.
Keeping on trying to keep it good.
Okay. Miss Theresa, why do you think people should visit Jacksonville more?
I think Jacksonville is a unique town, and it has a lot to offer for folks, especially we're close to the coast, and they can find some unique places to visit, I believe.
Yes, definitely. A lot of amazing family-owned local businesses just like yours.
Yes, there is.
And we've really had a great opportunity experiencing Jacksonville this trip, and thank you so much for having us here.
Well, I'm glad you came. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. So, Miss Theresa, where can we find you guys online?
We have 2 websites, mikesfarmnc.com or just mikesfarm.com.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, we're here speaking with Captain Lance Lejeune, and he is a retired Marine officer, and he decided to stay here in Jacksonville. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience here?
Well, I did 3 tours here in Jacksonville, and my wife thought this was her favorite place. I think we made 18 moves or something over the years, and this was her favorite place. She loved the people, she loved the river, she loved the beach, and so when I got to my end of time in the Marines, she said, I said, well, where do you want to go? And she said, I'd like to go to Jacksonville. So I retired, I was a colonel in the Marines, and I went to be a riverboat captain for 10 years with my wife on the river on that boat. Doing tours up and down the river, having dinner overnight, all day, whatever people wanted to do. We had a lot of fun with that.
Awesome, sounds good. So Captain Lance, we're here at your Airbnb. Can you talk a little bit about the tourism here?
Well, it's a great place. It's centrally located. We love this Airbnb on the river. After we quit cruising out there, we decided, well, we got this great building and great view, so we might as well let other people enjoy it. And so not only this Airbnb, I think there's another one just a couple doors down. There's several more out around the river and downtown. There's all kind of hotels here, great places to stay. So people love coming here to see their Marine, families from all over. We've had people from Alaska, Wyoming, you name it. They've come here to see their Marine and spend some time with them, either at the beach, on the river, around town, or foraying out a few miles in any direction to do any number of fun things. So it's a great place to be if you're coming to have some fun and be with one of your loved ones.
Yeah.
We also get a lot of out-of-town people that we found for years love to go to the beach out at Topsail, which is a great beach. And then you've got the base beach, which is also a tremendous beach. That's probably our favorite, is going on base. So if you got a military ID, you can go to the beach on base.
So you have grandkids from 2
Right.
to 16.
Right.
When your grandkids are here, what do you guys do?
Well, we got 11 of them, so it's a varied mixture of things. Number one, go to the beach. And then the Zing Zum Museum downtown, the little guys really like that.
Yeah.
And I always like taking the kids out to Bear Island, which is just a beautiful barrier island. And you can take the Lady Swan or Marsh tours.
So you used to do boat tours here.
We did for 10 years, and I don't know how many people got engaged out on that boat. In fact, my youngest son got engaged on that boat. But we had people from in fact, we had a couple from Italy get engaged on the boat, and I've been following them over the years as they went to being engaged on the boat, to getting married. Now they got 2 kids.
Nice.
So it's fun. I get pictures from Italy of those guys having fun. But lots of young Marines here, lots of people getting married, lots of babies after that.
Yeah.
So there's many, many young people in the area here. And it's a great place to have a wedding. The venue's on the river, Mike's Farm. There's also, the barn is a new venue. There's lots of wedding venues around town.
Sounds nice. And so you know some exciting history about Jacksonville and the military. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, there's a lot of action that took place very near here. In fact, right on the river. There was a raid on Jacksonville by a guy, Lieutenant Cushing, and he came up the river, stole some boats, burned some salt works, and got away until he ran aground, which is a kind of something you got to watch around here. There's a lot of shallow water. So anyway, his bigger boat ran aground. The Confederate Army pinned him down there and cannonaded him, so he had to get away however he could. So they took the smaller boats and they had to destroy the big boat, but he escaped. Not far from here is a Revolutionary War battlefield, and there's also a battlefield from the Civil War. So anybody that's interested in military history, there's a few interesting things very close by. We've had a chance to visit all of them, and they're all kind of interesting. If you want to go downtown, well, there's 2 things that are wonderful down there. The Freedom Fountain, which is beautiful, and it honors all the services. And a short distance away is the Memorial Gardens, and there's soon to be the Museum of the Marine is going to be built there. The ground's all ready, and I believe they're going to break ground to build the building very soon. It's a very solemn place, a great place to walk. In the early spring, when the azaleas are blooming, it's an incredibly beautiful, serene place. It's a really sacred ground over there.
So thank you so much for your time and your service. How would someone find your Airbnb?
Well, we are on the VRBO app, and we're also on the Airbnb app. And we'd love to have you come stay with us. We got a beautiful 3-story, 4-bedroom, 4-bath house right on the river. And it's just a relaxing place to be. And we'd love to have people check in and enjoy their stay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Sure thing. Have fun.
Hi guys, we're here at West Indian Kitchen and we're speaking with Mr. and Mrs. Stirred Iron. How are you guys doing today?
We are great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about West Indian Kitchen.
Well, we have a food truck. We've had a food truck since '07. And we normally serve on Camp Lejeune. So we have a lot of the folks from Camp Lejeune, and as they tasted the food, they like, why you don't have a brick and mortar? So the opportunity came, and this is where we at.
So you guys definitely have a supportive customer base who wanted to see you guys have a brick and mortar. So here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So what are some of your popular food items?
My number one seller is oxtails.
Oh,
The other one is curry goat.
okay.
So we have a combination platter that serves both of them.
Okay.
And then we have the famous pig feet that we serve on every Friday. And then we have empanadas. I made them from scratch.
Wow.
We also have curry chicken and jerk chicken.
That sounds incredible. So your restaurant is a mix of West Indian food and Spanish food.
Exactly.
And that is because of your cultural background. Can you
Right.
talk to us a little bit about that?
Both parents are Puerto Ricans. My mom and my dad both are Puerto Ricans. Even though I was born in the Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
at home everything was just Spanish. Couldn't speak no English at the house.
Wow.
So my mom was a cook at the school, and just looking at her cook, I learned to cook. And it was her passion,
Yeah.
and it became my passion.
Your parents as well?
My parents was from the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas. She was also a cook, and she used to make different combinations of foods that she put together. It was real nice. Real
Wow. So are your foods family recipes?
Most of them. I
Okay.
wouldn't tell anyone my recipe. I tell them I can't. I have my own, like I do my own seasoning.
Yeah.
We call it sofrito. That's a Puerto Rican background where you have all this different seasoning. People ask me, what you do in your rice? I make my own seasoning. My mom used to make her own seasoning as well. So I follow my mom, I know her recipe, and that's what I do.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys have been here for a little over a year.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about getting started?
We went to the Jacksonville Commerce. They come and they actually advertise for you, put you in their little booklets and so forth. And that's where that part of it started. But before that, we started at the flea market. Unfortunately, with the food truck there, nobody was actually coming in. It had a lot of traffic, but nobody was coming into the flea market. So I took a big banner and I went out in the middle of the street and I was flagging it to let them know that, here we are. And then some Marines came by.
Yeah.
They ate the food and they say, look, if you all are cooking like this, you gotta get on base.
Exactly.
So then we went on base, and now that we're on base, they said, you should have a brick and mortar. So here we are. So it just was like one step, after the next.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So your restaurant is a part of the International Food Trail. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
When we were selected to be part of it, I remember vividly. They came and they tasted our food, but I know the trail has something to do with the different cultures. I think we're the only Caribbean food, like my food.
Yeah.
They have a Puerto Rican one as well, but we're not going to talk about it. Because we have so many Marines from different cultures and so many different places. I think this is why they have the trail.
Yes.
If you want Chinese food, you're going to find Chinese. If you want Caribbean food, you're going to find me, even though they have others. You have Spanish food, you have Indian food.
Yes.
And it basically goes by the what you have over in Camp Lejeune. They try to make them feel at home, so that's why they have the trail. We have people of every nationality that comes here.
Yeah.
Name it, we have it. That they normally come by here. So.
Awesome.
And it's the same thing on base. We have everybody to come and eat the food on base.
So the restaurant itself, we have pictures of the Virgin Islands. We try to make it feel like when you step in here, you're actually on the island.
Wow, yes. Aside from your food truck and in the restaurant, do you guys do anything else outside of the restaurant?
Yes, we do catering. We literally take a food truck to the catering site. We cook in the food truck, and then we deliver. We leave them with all the goods, and then we leave.
So where can we find you guys online?
You can find me on Facebook, if nothing else. I know Instagram, just put West Indian Kitchen,
Okay.
Yeah, it'll come
and
up.
then it will pop up. We're the only one that said West Indian Kitchen in this area.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure
Thank
meeting
you. Okay.
Hi guys, we're here at Zing Zum and we're speaking with the museum's manager, Taylor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm good, thanks for having us. So Taylor, tell us a little bit about Zing Zum.
So Zing Zum is a interactive free play children's museum here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. We are a nonprofit, so we are a 501(c)(3). That means that we are run by a board of directors instead of a normal business. We see children anywhere from birth to upwards of 10 years of age. We have fun interactive exhibits that are educational as well as hands-on for children in our community.
Sounds awesome. So how long has Zing Zum been here?
So Zing Zum has been open since November 30th of 2018. We closed for a brief little moment during that big C word that we don't really speak about anymore, but we opened our doors back open shortly after.
So Taylor, what are some of the exhibits that you have here at Zing Zum and where'd you guys get the inspiration?
So Zing Zum was actually named from a child who won a contest in 2010. The museum is named Zing Zum for Amazing Museum, so that's why we are called Zing Zum. Some of the children's most favorite exhibits would probably be our Publix grocery store, who doesn't love to little grocery shop here and there, as well as our Rock Across Wall, and some of our art stations would be some of our favorite exhibits.
And you mentioned that Zing Zum is inspired by the community?
Yeah, absolutely. We do as much as we can possibly do to serve our community. That's why we offer one day a month our free day of play. This entire day is sponsored by other businesses in our community as well as us to offer a free experience to everybody in our community. That means the price that day is $0, which is really, really incredible. But on other days, we also offer Museums for All, which if you have EBT or SNAP benefits, you receive admission for $3 instead of our normal $8 plus tax.
Okay, so the discounted days that you guys have, is this the same day every month or different days?
So it kind of differs. We usually try to do the fourth Friday of every month, but sometimes if some things fall, it ends up on a Saturday, but it's always either a Friday or a Saturday.
And sounds good. And you mentioned Museums for All. Is how that program came about.
So Museums for All is actually different than our free day of play. Our free day of play is just sponsored by other local communities, where Museums for All is a national accredited foundation that allows people to come in for $3.
Awesome, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. It makes play accessible for all.
Why would someone from out of town want to visit Zing Zum?
I would say you would want to come to Zing Zum to have a fun, interactive afternoon with your child. We make everybody pay the $8 admission to encourage that everybody plays. It's not a drop-in daycare. We want you to fully interact with your child when you come here. You know, get down on your knees and play pirates with your kid. It's educational and it's a foundation for you and your family.
Why would locals want to visit Zing Zum?
Well, not only on a rainy day are we a perfect place to hide away from the rain, but we also offer birthday parties here. That is going to be an afternoon of fun, not only for you, but also your entire family. You have rental of the entire party room, as well as admission for 25 guests within our pricing for our birthday parties.
Wow, incredible.
Yes.
So where can we find you guys online and find out more about what's happening here at Zing Zum?
Yeah, so we do a lot of our interactions via our website, which is going to be www.zingzum.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and we even now are TikToking, so you can find us on TikTok as well.
Awesome, well thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming.
So hi guys, we are here at Marrakesh in Jacksonville and we're speaking with the owner, Mr. Ahmed. How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much for having us. Can you tell us a little bit about Marrakesh?
Yes, Marrakesh started out in 2010. All my life, I was in retail businesses, so I decided I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do what I do best, and what I do best is cooking. Jacksonville is the home of the Camp Lejeune, and a lot of people travel out to overseas and they tried out the Middle Eastern food, and when they come back home, they want to share that with their family.
Yeah.
And it would be a good idea to have it in Jacksonville. It's been 14 years now. I trained my sons, started to learn how to cook and how to marinate, how to do things.
Yeah.
And when I was so much confident in them that they learn everything, I said, now it's time for me to retire and you guys take over.
Awesome.
So I stepped aside and now they're running the show. They're doing very good at it.
Okay, that's amazing. So let me ask you a question. For someone who's never been to Marrakech, what would you recommend them to try?
Everything tastes very good because we prepare our food. So if it's chicken or beef or lamb, we use fresh cut, marinade, set it on the skewers in the refrigerator right beside the fire. When the customer walks in, they order whatever they want, and that's when we take it out and put it on the fire. Our best dish here is beef kebab.
Oh.
Beef kebab is so good.
Okay.
This is my favorite, you know. Beef kebab is the tenderloin meat. It's marinated in special Mediterranean spices, and it's set aside no more than overnight, and it's cooked out as the customer ordered, and it cooks very tender, and within 3 minutes on fire, it comes out. You don't even have to use a knife for it.
Wow.
You could cut it up with a fork and eat your shish kebab.
Very tender. Now let me ask you a question. Are these some of your personally inspired recipes?
I was always watching my mother and my grandmother, and they took the recipes from them and how to do things, and I just kept it right here in my. And I used to gather all my family here in the States, my daughter and my brothers and sisters. Always, every weekend, we always cook at the house and have it all together. And my favorite was cooking the shish kebab on the fire. So when I decided to open the restaurant, because it was so good, everybody loved it, I said, let's share that with the people and let them taste our food that we cook at home.
That is incredible. So, Mr. Ahmed, where can we find you guys online?
If you just Google Marrakech online, we are there. If you go to TripAdvisor, we are up there. We are #1 rated restaurant in Jacksonville area on TripAdvisor.
Awesome.
Yelp, we are there.
I love that because you guys are locally owned, you're a family restaurant, and you have great quality, amazing food. So thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications to keep up with all of our adventures. Now I'd like to thank Gator Metal Roofing for sponsoring today's video. Let's check in with the recent customer to see how their experience was. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel for all things metal roofing in North Carolina. I'm Audrey, your host. Today we're in Hope Mills, and we're speaking with a recent customer, Mr. Batista. So you've been living here in this home for a while now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So maybe 18-year-old house. The roof was actually in good condition. I just took advantage of a good price and what it seemed like a good deal, from the company. And then we decided to go ahead, and we're very happy, with the finished work and the way the contractors deal with us.
Yeah.
It's been great so far.
I'm so glad you've had a great experience. So let me ask you a question. What made you make the switch from shingles to a metal roof?
I've been doing my own research, reading online, and I know it's a very long-lasting, decision in my case.
Yeah.
Not that old, but it might be the last roof that I'm gonna invest into.
Right.
Maybe not for my wife, but for me. So I wanted to do like a permanent solution.
Yes, and this is definitely a lifetime asset. We have a lifetime warranty on this roof, so your roof will be good for at least the next 50 years.
That sounds great.
Awesome. What made you call Gator Metal Roofing? There's so many roofing companies and metal roofing companies. Why Gator?
Like I said, I did talk to maybe 2 more companies, and we never got into agreements with their conditions and terms and obviously price. But I, continue down the line, and I hope it would have been the first, but it was the 3rd one I called.
Okay.
But when I talked to the salesman, he offered me, in great detail the whole process, and the great price and the quality of the material is great. I did my own research, and that's why we went with Gator.
Awesome. We're so glad that you felt comfortable enough to sign. So, out of the benefits that you heard, what made you, from that free estimate, go, okay, this is it?
Definitely the price and the quality of materials and the process. Because the day of the installation, I went up there a couple of times with the contractor.
Okay.
And I was paying attention to what they were doing. I'm not a roof expert, but I've done construction before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't know the contractors were so good. You know, when I talked to the salesperson, but he had great knowledge, you know, technical knowledge of what he was talking about.
Yes. So with that being said, from the time you picked up to call us until your roof was installed, about how long was that?
It wasn't even a month.
Nice.
It was very fast.
So it was a fast, professional install.
Yeah, and it could take less time, but I guess it was some issues with materials, you know, but it could have been faster, so it worked very fast.
Speaking of issues, if there were some issues that came up, how do you think Gator responded during the time of the issues?
Yeah, immediately, because the next day they came because they were short maybe a few pieces of metal, and I wasn't expecting them to be here the next day, so they took care very, very fast.
Awesome. So, Mr. Batista, you have a country red Gator metal roof. What made you choose that color?
My wife.
Well, she did an amazing job picking out the color. This roof stands out in your neighborhood. It's beautiful. She made a great choice. So, Mr. Batista, would you recommend Gator Metal Roofing to your friends and family?
Definitely, I would recommend it. Great company.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, sir.
Okay.